Hello and welcome to a new episode here in Baden, Austria at the La Gazelli Baden Photo Festival. In front of me is sitting a person I met here in Baden with a really impressive exhibition. Welcome to Lorraine Turci.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. It's nice to have you here and to have the chance to make an interview with you about you as photographer, about you and your work, and about the Trawler, the exhibition you got here at Baden. First of all, I think it'll be nice if you could introduce yourself to our listeners. Who are you?
Hi, thank you. I'm a photographer, of course, since 5 years now. I went in fine art school at first and I get a photography degree at university, but I spent years doing different things, traveling the world most of the time and try working beside the photography field, especially the author one. And since 5 years, I'm saying my own stories. So I am author photographer. It's how I define my work more than even photojournalism, or I'm most an author than a photojournalist.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
So using your pictures, you're telling a story.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a nice way I saw it, and I have been impressed seeing the pictures. And you have been quite near to the persons over there, but you just told us how you started to photograph and that you're a photographer since 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And in preparation for this documentation of the Trawler, what did you do?
It was a long way. It's always a long way. At first, I was working as a cruise ship photographer, a commercial one, before to be author. I worked on board for 4 years, making contracts as long as 7 months on board. And I discovered a very strange world, so different. It's living at sea is another planet. If you didn't embark, you don't know what is it. And I wanted to make the people ashore to discover what is living at sea. And cruise, it's very different, but there is different job at the sea, very more essential. Mm-hmm. And I decided to work on this. And at first, I made it with the French National Library and French Ministry of Culture, because they opened an open call for producing a work in France about any kind of subject. I applied, and I was one of the laureates of this national commission. And the subject that I proposed was about the French maritime word. Mm-hmm. For this purpose. And part of it was with fishermen. Mm-hmm. So I went to discover the seamen's life in different fields, but seamen's was one of the parts. I produced it, and I went to sell it to the magazines. And it's where I met Cyril Drouet, who is the art director of La Gazelli in France. And I proposed him this subject. He took it for the magazine. And that was the end of this subject first. But a few months later, he called me and said me, what you did for your subject with the French National Library, would you do the same for the festival here in Brittany? I said, of course, I will do that. And it's how I embarked. Long story, but simple one. And I contact some fishermen. Some say no, some say yes. But what is easy with them is they are very direct. Mm-hmm. So if it's yes, you just embark and that's it. You make your pictures and as easy as that.
That's funny, interesting, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, and what I noticed is that you looked more for classical fishermen, not for the new
one.
Yeah,
and it's all the topic. Mm-hmm. It's all about that because we are living in a complex world, and it's very hard to catch all the shades of the reality. Trawler is a very trait on the environment because it's the worst way to fishes because it's the net is with big heavy things. I forgot in English the name. I'm sorry, but it's big heavy metal piece that make the nests going on the floor of the sea, the bottom of the sea, and taking off everything. It's the worst one. But, and there is the but is, we need to change that and to change this way of fishing. But in the same time, these guys are providing food, daily food for us every day. And they are very proud of it, and they can be. And their hard work is for feeding us. And when I mean hard work, I saw it. I was there only for 4 days. And when you see the picture, you say, wow, it's crazy that you get there. But I always say I was only for 4 days there. They are making
every day
for all the carrier on these things, because on a trawler they go for 10 days and 2 days ashore for resting. But the 10 day on board, each 4 hours the trawler is out of the water with the fish, and it means they have to sort the fish, to cut it, to put into the boat in the ice, to repair the nets, to make many shore that are around, and after that go to bed for 1 hour maybe if they are lucky. Each 4 hours. It's crazy. So, and it's their daily life for years. And I couldn't believe it's still this kind of way is even legal in 2024. Because ashore, this could be illegal, totally. And it's so dangerous even for the machines, because the chains, huge and heavy chains, are 10 centimeters of your head. And with they are so, it's exhausting. And when you are exhausted, it's so easy to have an accident. And you are in the middle of nowhere in this small boat, because it's only 5 men on board. It's very small boat, this one. And in the middle of nowhere with nobody to help you. I mean, it's crazy. Some of them say, it's not so dangerous, just don't think.
Yeah, but you have to know what you're doing, and you have to be always carefully working, looking out and checking. I think it's like a diver. These 5 persons, everybody looks at the other to make sure that nothing can happen. You stood with them on the boat during the time. You stood with them at night, at day. You have been there when it's rained, on stormy days or not stormy days. So you shared with them the little space they have. How close did you get to the fishermen?
Enough, they are not very speaking people. They're very quiet most of the time. And most of them don't like to speak. And it's part of why they are at sea and why they are proud to be at sea, because they are quiet there. It's the place where I love to be. But, the few words they say to me, they are very worthy, very powerful. The one that I quote, because I like to write the quotation directly from the fishermen's, because it's their word. It's their life. It's not about my work. It's about their work. I'm just a messenger. And what they are saying, it's very powerful. It's very simple things. As I said about, it's not so dangerous if you don't think. Or another guy said to me, no, the mountain, we was just small talk during the dinner. The dinner, I mean, it's very quickly pasta and yeah, it's not a dinner like
a complete boat full of fish and eating pasta.
Yes, because I mean they're eating, smelling. It's all about fish. They want to do something other than fish. So beef or this kind of, they are sick about fish after a while. So they prefer to eat different things than fish, of course.
Yeah. And did you ask him if he had ever went to a mountain?
Yes, I asked that to him. I say, "Oh no, it's too dangerous. You got there, you can break a leg, and it's finished for you." But you are fishermen. I mean, sea, it's way more dangerous than it. Yes, but the sea, I know it.
Yeah, I passed through the exhibition. I read every text, and it was interesting. Because without the pictures are great, but they need to be described. And in this case, it was interesting to see that these little boats with 5 persons are fishing just 60 tons a year. Enough to cover the costs and to live from it. But if you look at the commercial trawlers, the big ones, they're taking out 200 tons a day.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we should stop these kind of fishing, because we need the fish, and we need a fixed quantity of fish living to get more, because if we take too many out, someday there won't be fish. That's a problem, absolutely. And that's why I'm saying that your serial of pictures is absolutely important to open eyes, to let the world see what's happening. Because if you do not do this, if you wouldn't talk about that, nobody would notice the situation.
Exactly. The big boat, it's the one that are emptying the ocean. And that's the one who are the real impact, especially because small boats, they make regulation and they are willing about that. They don't want the sea to be empty. It's their incomes first. So, of course, they are for the quote. So the fishermen, they are okay with the quote because it's ensured that the place have still fishes. And when you buy a boat, a small boat like this, it comes with the quotes like this.
Okay.
What we are buying, it's not only the ship, it's the place where it can fish and how long, how many fishes it can fish. And that is a more sensible things to doing it.
It's a good system because you can avoid that too many fishermen are at the same place.
Exactly. That is made for avoiding this. Because we had a big crisis in France in these areas in the 80s. There was too many fishermen and the stock of fish decreased. And we saw that if you put quotas, it works. And that is the good news. It's possible to change it. But if you have a boat, like you said, in one night, harvesting everything, I mean, it breaks everything. And as the seamen, they are saying, what is at sea, stay at sea. It's true, because we can't see, we are far. When we are ashore, we don't know what is happening there. And in sea, it's the easiest place to hide crimes. That's why illegal fishing is a big issue in all the world. But even in France, where it's much more regulated, there's a difference between commercial and artisanal is a very big issue.
Absolutely. And it's a hard work, what they're doing at this time. And they return in every 2 or 3 days to unload the fish and to get out again.
Yes, but they are not going ashore. It's the fish going ashore.
Yeah.
But they are staying on the boat and they are disembarking the fish just for the fish to be fresh. That's it. And after that, they go. But it depends of which kind of boat, because before that, I made an embarkment where they go 15 days on board without disembarking the fish. But it's because they are not fishing exactly the same kind of fish. Because depending if you are going 200 kilometers from the coast, you don't fish the same one than 15 kilometers. And the oil is important, because how many gasoline you will use for go at 200 kilometers with your boat? It's expensive. And if you come back without fish, nobody is paid on board. And some are counting the price of the fish compared to the price of the gasoline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're living in a world where everybody lives in a kind of way that everything is always there to buy, to eat, to have. You know what I mean? You go to the supermarket at the fish to buy fish. There is fish. You can get it whenever you want to. You can choose between many different fishes. We're living in a world where it's normal to can buy every day whatever you want because it's there. And we're living in a world where some products are too cheap. And what I also read is that they are having problems to get new fishermen, younger persons.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, it's like, I come from a city who was factories, and everybody was working into the factory. I come from a family that was miner to the east of France. My grandfather was a miner, and all the family of my father was working into the factory. There was no other option. It's the same with the fishermen. The son of a fisherman will be a fisherman. But that is changing because they are aware that there is way easier job than that. So, of course, who will go at sea in this condition if you are not from this kind of family. And even if you are from this kind of family, but maybe I will have a better life if I don't do that. It's a big issue because they're pointed as the one who are destroying the environment, even at school or this kind. I have one that said to me, "Oh, my daughter at school, they said your father is dolphin killer." Mm-hmm. But the problem is not him; it's about the system. It's very different, and he is there for feeding the people, not for killing.
Yeah, but it's a difficult work. You can't avoid not to catch a fish. By this way, you take everything with you.
Yes. And that's why they're working with a researcher. Ifremer is the organization in France, researcher, and they're making new nests, for example, for larger
openings, holes, yes.
Exactly.
So you don't let the little fishes in the water and take only the big ones out.
Exactly. And they are willing to work with them. They are collaborating. But it's still, the reality is that buying a nest, it's in millions of euros. Mm-hmm. The cost is amazing. So this come with a price. It's the same situation with the farmers that we are pointing because it's not ecological way, but in the same time, they need to have solution for changing that. Mm-hmm. So it's mandatory to change, but we need to help for them for doing this. Yeah. And as you said, we eat fish without thinking the true cost of the fish. It's so easy.
Because many people don't know what's happening. At one side, we got the big ships which are taking too much fish out. And the smaller ones, I think most of the people can't imagine what's happening on sea and how hard the work is and how different one and the other way is. That's why your pictures and the story behind are so important, to let the people understand what's happening, how hard the work is, and why the system should change. It's a well done job. Absolutely. Congratulations.
And thanks to them to let me be with them. And I'm very happy because they are very proud of the pictures and with the story. And that was so important for me. And another good things is people say to me after to see the exhibition, now that I saw your pictures, when I will see the fish in my plates, I will think to these fishermen and their work and all the issue around that. So think about that.
It's important, and it's nice to know that they have seen the pictures. I think that if they and you and the magazine could take this more out, probably also on international platforms, to make others see what's happening. It's really important. This exhibition can be seen, or the texts can be read in French, English, and German.
Right.
And we took pictures of everyone, and we will publish your pictures with the presentation of yesterday.
Okay.
So every listener can see the pictures and have an idea of the message behind it.
It's talking about.
Yes, absolutely. And it's an important message. So nice. When did you do this?
Last year.
Last year.
Yes.
And how do you feel today about thinking back, and how do you feel about the story?
I want to continue it and to go larger scale and to dig into it again and deeper and make it visible more.
Great. I wish you all the luck I can wish you. It's a good idea. And hopefully you will be successful. And we should talk again when you did this.
Sure.
Lorraine, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure. And let's stay in contact.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.